All right. Again, good afternoon. My name is Chris Maley. I'm the Vice President of Operations and the Training and Education Coordinator with Property Panorama. Today, we're going to be going over kind of a hot button topic, if you will, and that's going to be going over, doing your best to stay top of mind with your clients, especially during the holiday season. And there's a lot of tools that are available to you, including our own here at Property Panorama with our InstaView virtual tours and other marketing tools that are available within the suite. Uh, but a lot of the things that we're going to be covering, we have kind of touched on throughout our past webinars. One of them is consistent branding. So I did pull a lot of information from that, added a couple of new tips and tricks in there. You've also, if you were here for our first one, we went over social media and how to get in front of the right people, how to get in front of the most consumers possible using social media tools. And then we're going to move on to our own InstaView products and how those can be integrated with your branding, with your social media marketing. So we do have, those automated options just to be able to get posts out there without you having to lift a finger. But we will be again going, I would say roughly about 35, 40 minute mark. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to use the Q&A tab. I will be happy to answer those as I do see them coming in. But again, just sit back and grab that pen and paper because I do have some good tips and tricks for you that are going to be taking you through this holiday season. Up front, it's going to be all about consistent branding. And it's about making your tools instantly recognizable to consumers. You want, your products to be out in front of people and they say, "Oh, I know exactly who that is." So, first and foremost, what marketing tools do you use? As I touched on briefly, we have the Property Panorama InstaView virtual tours, we have the digital flyers, we have the postcards. These are all things that you want to make sure that your branding is consistent on, and it matches what's on your personal or your company website. It also matches the same logos, the same color scheme that you have on your social media accounts. You also want to make sure that you are using all of the tools that are available to you. Social media accounts, they're free. So, having a Facebook business page, having your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your YouTube, making sure that you have those tools available to you because they are free just expands your reach. Additionally, the Google Business Profile, if you don't have one, I highly recommend it. It puts you on the right-hand side of the page when people either look up your name or if they look up maybe your brokerage, it'll pop up on the right-hand side with your information. And then, of course, I'm sure you've all heard of Canva, a great way to make your own marketing pieces. So, those are just some tools that are available to you that you're going to be placing this branding on. The first thing that you think of when it comes to branding, though, I'm sure, is a company logo. Now, your company may have several different logo variations available for you to choose from. You might have a black and white option, or you might have a horizontal version and a vertical version. For brand consistency, I always recommend picking one, sticking with it. Now, I do understand that there are certain media that require it to be a different size logo or maybe not have the text. But as much as possible, you want to stick with that one option. And then you can pick a second similar one for items that may require that smaller or different format option. Uh, but like I say, when it comes to the logo, you want that to be that and your face to be the first things that consumers see. Before we even get into, getting through the holiday season, your branding does have to be consistent. So, you know, even with your color scheme, your company may have a very uh, large color palette. I've seen some have, up to five colors in their palette. Honestly, I know a lot of times it'll either be picked by your team lead or your broker, where you have a specific, two colors that need to be in each and every single marketing piece. If you don't have that, I would highly recommend sticking to two colors, using the others as accents. And that just helps, again, build your personal brand to stand out against others that are in the same company or maybe even within your same office at that point. And to ensure that you're getting the exact same colors on each and every single marketing piece, use the hex codes. A lot of times when you are in tools like Canva or within your property panorama account and you're adjusting the colors on the tours or the flyers, you can enter in the exact hex code. That way you have the perfect color match for your color scheme. So the biggest takeaway for the branding aspect of it is consistency, consistency, consistency. Each and every single piece that you put out there, it doesn't matter if it's print, if it's digital, if it's, just something that you're putting on your website. It has to be, you know, some form of consistency to where consumers know that it's you exactly. Because let's face it, there's a lot of agents out there, and you need to do what you can to make yourself stand apart. But that does take us right into social media, which it's not just a buzzword. There's a lot of things that you should do, you shouldn't do. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that your profile picture is up to date everywhere, not just on your social media platforms, but if your picture is on your business card, make sure it's an up to date one. If your picture is on your website, again, always use something that people look at you and say, I know exactly who that is. If you use a picture from 20, 25 years ago, you may not look exactly the same anymore. I mean, if you did, then you found the fountain of youth. Congratulations. But otherwise, you want to make sure that people recognize you right away. Uh, I know in some communities, people will put business cards up on billboards, and if somebody takes that card, looks at your picture and sees something from 20 years ago, and then you meet them in person, they're not going to recognize you. But again, like I say, it's all about making sure everything is up to date, everything is consistent, especially with social media. But before we dive in too deep into social media, I do have a list of do's and don'ts. So I have a lot of friends that are real estate agents, and a lot of times all I see are posts of their listings, their listings, their listings. You're not getting any content to me that's relevant to me if I'm not looking for a property right this second. But because I'm in your sphere, you might want to find something that engages me. So, keeping entertainment posts or education posts, things about, how to winterize your property properly or making sure that uh, you get your roof checked or, all of those little educational pieces that you see floating around from the various sources that you use. But the first thing that you do want to do is make sure that your message is consistent. Um, and that's across all of your social media platforms. You don't want to send mixed messages. Uh, when you do put things out on social media, it doesn't have to go to every platform. I'm going to be blunt with that, and that's just because not every social media platform is geared for the same type of content. Instagram, for example, is video based, it's photo based, not really a text based platform. So sharing media there, sure. But if you're actually making a verbose post, not the right social media. So that could be for Facebook or LinkedIn or something of that nature. Videos can go to pretty much all of the social sites. And that's just because they are, for lack of a better word, the cat's pajamas when it comes to the social media algorithm. Social media algorithms are searching for content that consumers are going to grab onto, that they're going to watch. Video is going to keep someone's attention more than a static post. So again, that's going to be based on all of your social media platforms versus, the like I say, the verbose ones or a static image that's only going to go to a couple of different social platforms. But the things that you absolutely, again, like I say, sorry, got a little off topic there, but the things that you want to do is make sure your message is consistent. You also want to be a local expert. Own your neighborhood is what it comes down to. If there's events that are going on, a new restaurant, if there's events going on at the school, like just for example, here locally, town 5 minutes away, they just won the state football high school championship. So stuff like that, and make sure that those make it into your social media posts, congratulations. If there's changing market trends in your area, again, something that you would want to share with consumers. As I started to mention before, using video. Social platforms absolutely love video content. And again, it's just because it keeps them hooked onto the post that much longer. So it's not only good for the social platform because if there's any ads on the front or back end of the video, they make money, but it's also getting them to be more engaged with your content for a longer period of time. You do want to provide value with your posts, like I mentioned, educational posts. Um, I know some agents will go out there on Saturdays and when they're out with their family, just showing them picking apples or showing different things that they do in their spare time, giving them a little bit of a behind the scenes of not only what it's like to be a real estate agent, but to be a family person at times too. So giving it that personable feeling is something that a lot of real estate agents show success doing. Um, Also engage with your audience. So that falls right into that lifestyle as well. And then one thing that I've always found to be true, especially in the last 5 to 6 years, is the 80/20 rule. So you want to provide in each post or each video 80% of valuable, entertaining, or educational content, and then throw your promotion in for yourself after the fact. So open up, introduce yourself. There's, 5% of your direct promotion right there. Jump into your content. Then at the end, do a hard close. And that's going to give you a little bit more of your direct promotion at the end there. And then the one thing that I always recommend, be yourself. Showcase your personality. Show why you are a real estate professional. It's not an easy industry to be in. You know it, I know it. Show your personality. It's going to make you feel more genuine. It's going to help you build more relationships, especially through those videos. It's going to help you appear more genuine. Don't put on a false face, if you will, or a mask. But jumping over to the don't side, don't post just to post. What I mean by that is you're creating a whole bunch of noise, a bunch of spam, if you will, flooding people's pages with content that has nothing to do about nothing. Uh, it's a good way to get unfollowed. So making sure that you have relevant content going out in your posts and only posting maybe 3 to 5 times per week is going to keep you from being on that borderline of posting just to post. Don't only post listings, like I mentioned before, providing additional content, stuff that's going to be relevant not only to those that are actively searching, but those that may be actively searching in 2 to 3 years, home repair tips or, little handyman tips and tricks. I see those a lot on my friends' pages, and those are the ones that I follow the most, just because I'm not currently in the market, but those tips and tricks do help me out here and there. So it's definitely something that you want to provide a well-balanced approach to. I don't have it on the page here, but the way that I've always done it is you want to have three original posts, which could be your listings, market updates, and community spotlights, and then have two personal posts. So like I mentioned before, the behind the scenes, or if you have any hobbies or things that you're doing with your family, or even client testimonials, something that's just a little bit more personal. Now, if you wanted to have more than those 5 posts a week, it's always okay to share things that are curated posts, what I would call. It's sharing valuable local news or industry articles, things of that nature. So sharing that type of stuff, I would not count against your 3 to 5 posts a week. I would only count that 3 to 5 against your original posts and your personal posts uh, when it comes to your business pages. Uh, Another thing not going to want to do is be overly promotional. People tend to disengage. That's where I came up with that 80/20 rule. Uh, again, 80% value, 20% direct promotion. Don't be controversial. Obviously, we don't want to alienate clients, so sticking away from things that could be potentially alienating, such as religion or politics. Obviously, I'm sure some of your companies have guidelines of what you can and cannot post or comment on in regard to that type of stuff when you are representing your business. But again, just I throw it out there just because you don't want to get caught up in that wheel. And then you don't want to spam. So avoid mass DMs. Um, it just makes it seem very impersonal. It's no different than getting a mailer that's to occupant. Uh, it's not for everybody. So just make sure that you aren't spamming people because it just comes off as impersonal, and you want to be as personable as possible, without being directly one-on-one with these individuals. So there's just a little bit of the do's and don'ts when it comes to social media. I will tell you, my degree personally is in communications. When I got my degree, social media wasn't even thought of in this capacity. It was, the MySpace and whatnot going on back then, the early stages of Facebook even, but it was just a college community page at that point in time. One thing that I have done since then is I actually reached out to my local community college out here and I took a couple of classes just to bring me up to speed on what's really going on with social media, what direction it's going. It also helps you out with how to make good schedules, how to, really get in front of the right people, how to break the Facebook algorithms, if you will. Um, Typically, it's a 1 or 2 hour course. Uh, Maybe one meeting 1 to 3 times, depending on your local community colleges. But I highly recommend if you do see those opportunities out there, social media is changing daily, daily. So if you have the opportunity to take any of those courses, I always recommend it. I'm actually going to be trying to take another one here in probably the next 6 to 8 months, just because the last one I took was 2 years ago and things have changed drastically since then. Um, so you can never know too much when it comes to this type of content, especially since it is the largest way for you to market yourself with essentially zero out of pocket cost. Now, this is where we're kind of getting into the holiday season. What should I post when I don't have listings? Well, you don't just only not have listings during maybe slower parts of the year or, during specific seasons. There's times throughout the year that you just may not have a listing. So that's when we turn back to being that local expert, local events, local news, uplifting community news. If a youth group at one of the local churches did something nice for the community, post that stuff. You want those good humanitarian stories because it's going to take that feedback and put that positive feedback not only on those individuals but also you for sharing it with the community. Market trends again. Always want to keep on top of that, especially with the potential for consumers that are sitting there and watching, waiting for the rates to get to a certain point, or waiting for taxes to be at a certain point in a neighborhood, seeing what's going on with levies and whatnot. So having all of those market trends available throughout the year is just a great tool, something that you can use to your advantage at any time. Educational materials. So I've seen posts about keys to home ownership. So stuff for, first-time homeowners or anything that you feel relevant about getting a property ready to sell or things like that. Just anything that's educational for your consumers. Any local small businesses opening or, having a special or something. Again, it falls back onto that small town flavor, getting that local brand going on for yourself, being that community expert. But when it comes to seasonal posts, there's a lot of different ways that you can go with it. First and foremost, holiday greetings. I know I said you don't really want to touch on religion. That's why when it comes to seasonal posts, as a public facing individual, why not celebrate all the holidays? You know, you're there not only to want to have additional clients, but you're also wanting to make people feel welcome using you as their professional. You want people to feel welcome, not only based on your beliefs, but your openness to theirs. So giving all of those holiday greetings, not just the winter ones, celebrate them all. Seasonal home tips. So, you know, hanging Christmas lights, outdoor fun for the summertime, gardening tips, or if even winterizing gardens, playground equipment, how to maintain that throughout the year, decks, home maintenance, anything that could go wrong in the winter. Always great to have tips and tricks for, maintenance, or if you have any uh, connection with, say, a local handyman or something of that nature. Uh, you could do like, say, almost like an interview with them, uh, like a stand-up video, what they would call, where you're interviewing them and just asking them how they would maintain certain aspects. So you're even adding in more of that local expert knowledge by having another local expert available to you within a video. And then seasonal community videos. People don't just want to see the communities on a gorgeous summer day. They want to see what it looks like in the wintertime with snow on the ground, if you're from an area that has snow, or, what the flowers look like in bloom during the spring, or the color of the leaves change in the fall. Having those seasonal community videos that you publish, just again gives consumers a more of an inside look to not only you but the community itself. Really, really selling where you live, where you are, where you work. You are the ultimate knowledge when it comes to that point. Because I can't tell you as much about your area as you can tell me. It's what it all comes down to. So giving that insight to outsiders, people that might be looking to move to the area, it's a great tool. So now that we've gone over what you should post, when should you post it? And the long and short of it is there is no right or wrong answer to this. And it varies from market to market, varies from individual to individual. Use your audience for clues though. Uh, since we just talked about having, the 3 to 5 posts that you make per week, along with any curated posts, those, the local news or the industry articles, tips and tricks that you get from outside sources, look and see which posts, what days they were posted, get the most engagement from your audience. That engagement is going to show you when you should be posting. Um, like your audience may be a Monday from like somewhere between 10 and 12 for your biggest audience. It could be Wednesday after lunch. Just, I would say, start making posts at random times of the day throughout the week and see what times get you the most engagement, what days get you the most engagement. That's going to help you start building your schedule. Once you've figured out what days work best, what times work best, you want to stick to it. Make it so that your audience is looking forward to your content. Ooh, it's Monday. I know this agent's going to be posting. Let's see what they have to say. It's no different than tuning in for a favorite TV show. You just want to make sure that you have that schedule set because people will be looking for that content. Now, while you typically do want to reach the largest audience fastest, I would recommend using static posts on your busiest days. And that's because you're already getting good engagement. If you're wanting to grow engagement on those days that were maybe a little lacking, use video to build your audience instead. And not just video posting it on a post, share it in the reels, share it in, the shorts and the stories. Share it in those sections because that is where you're going to break through outside of your sphere of influence. Those videos get shared and shared and shared until it breaks out of your sphere. That's where you're going to get the majority of your views, and you're going to want to really pay attention at that point in time because you want to see where you're getting that performance from. You can look all within your Facebook analytics, uh, and that would be, well, actually, I should say meta analytics, because it's going to be for your Facebook and your Instagram accounts. Additionally, YouTube will give you the same breakdown if you are using YouTube Shorts, but you want to see how far beyond your sphere you are breaking through because you'll see if it's somebody that you're friends with or somebody that's following you or if it's not. That's also where using things that are lead capturing, huge, huge key. You want to make sure that they are able to reach out to you. So having that contact me button on videos, highly recommend it. That'll go directly to your messenger, however you have that set up. And then you do want to use, like I just mentioned, a combination of video and static content. We do have a new product that I'll be touching on at the end of the presentation called Revideo. Should be up and running here within the first quarter of 2026. We're just in the final testing stages because we did add some AI elements to it. Again, I'll cover that towards the end of the presentation. And then also with Property Panorama, we also have our Pro Flyers. It's a way that you can make either a print or a digital material that can be shared to any social media platform. But at the same point in time, that's specifically for listings. So there's also free tools available to you like Canva where you can help where it can help you create engaging content for your posts. If you're not familiar with Canva, I highly recommend looking into it. It's a great way to make posts that are not listing based. It's like almost like holiday greeting cards. You can add motion to them. It's an absolutely fantastic tool. But like I mentioned here, we had the InstaView marketing tools, and that's where we're going to kind of bring them all together right now. So if any of you have ever been through any of our webinars before, I know you've already seen this page. This is everything that you get with our InstaView marketing suite. So tours are automatically created within an hour of you inputting a listing. It's automatically submitted back to your MLS to be attached to your listing. That's great. It goes out to, sites like Realtor, Zillow, Trulia, right with the listing. So the virtual tour is out there with each and every single third-party website that does have your listing. What you get on the back end of that, though, you have access to the branded and the unbranded virtual tours. Branded tours are lead capturing. You have again the flyers and postcards. Those can be used from a print format or a digital format, used as an image on social posts. We also have the listing videos. Those are going to be replaced with the revideo eventually, but right now we do have listing videos. Those get automatically pushed right to your YouTube account, and I'll show you how to do that. And then the digital portfolio, if you don't have a personal web page already, digital portfolio takes care of that for you. It gives you a landing page that has all of your active listing inventory. Down at the bottom of that, the biggest one I want to touch on, social media syndication. There's two different options available. Both are available to you. Automated social media posts, anytime you get a new listing, anytime there's a price change. It's automatically going to push for you. So that one, I 100% of the time say it is probably the best hands-free tool for agents just to be able to say go anytime I get a new listing, anytime I have a price change. That's one less social post I have to worry about. But then we also have the one-click option available to you. That one-click option um, is what it's going to be geared more toward. Hey, I've got an open house coming up. Um, and I do have a question that came in. Is there a way to geo-target for ads? Yes, and I will get to that when I actually go over our ad product really quick. That's going to be coming up in about 5 slides, I want to say. Actually, I'm going to be flying through the next couple slides really quick, just because we're covering it on this page. Excuse me. Uh, but we already mentioned branded virtual tours. This is just an example of what it's like on a desktop and a mobile environment. Some samples of the flyers and postcards. The postcards are typically more used in regard to the social media posts because of the size and the format that they are in. We touched quickly on that one-click social media syndication. I will show you exactly where that is. And then, of course, each and every single aspect of our system that is branded does have lead capturing opportunities on it. So it's going to have contact forms or follow me options. The first thing that you're going to need to do, though, to access any of those tools is to get into your Property Panorama account. All you have to do is, once you get a new listing, click on the login option. Or you can go through the smart link that's available right in your MLS platform. As you can see on the screen there, I have all of the MLS platforms that we currently work with. You would just need to follow the navigation path, and that will log you in directly. I'm going to leave that up there for just one more second so you can write down anything that you wanted to from that page. And then once you click on those links, this is the dashboard that you're going to see. Now, first and foremost, as we mentioned, branding, branding, branding. This is where you're going to set your profile picture and your company logo. Make sure that it's the most up-to-date picture. Make sure it's the logo that you use on everything else. All you have to do is click directly on the image. So here I'd click on my profile picture. It would prompt me to browse my computer for the right image. Same thing with the company logo. So we try to make that as easy as possible. You're also going to want to make sure that your contact information is what you want displayed on all of your marketing materials. I mean, if this is going out on social media, getting in front of hundreds and thousands of people, you want to make sure that they can reach you the right way. So going onto your account tab is going to take you to where you can adjust your phone numbers, where you can adjust your email address. When it comes to your phone numbers, I always recommend making sure that the one that you want featured on everything is in the first slot, and there's a checkbox next to it that says primary. Make sure that's done, and that will be the phone number that's on every marketing piece you have through us. Now, down below that, you have your listings. We'll be coming back to that in a second because the listing specific items that you can create and share for marketing are right here on this page. The one that looks like a share icon. That's where you can share all of the various listing level materials. But we'll come back to that because first I want to go over the account wide setting, which is that sharing and social media down here. Going to that account wide setting is going to open up this page for you. So this is the settings and syndication page. And this is where you would mark yes to each and every single social media account that you want to use for your automated sharing. So if you wanted to share directly to your Facebook business page, you'd click yes. It's going to ask you to log in, grant us the permission to post on your behalf anytime you get a new listing or have a price change. Once you've authorized that, it will do that for any listing moving forward. Likewise, if you wanted to have your YouTube video shared, directly to your YouTube channel, same thing. Just mark yes up top. It's going to ask you to log in, give us the proper permissions, and we will begin sending your videos over to YouTube. One thing I will say is if you do have a newer YouTube channel, you're going to have a low quota, is what they call it, to where you can only upload X amount of videos on an automated basis each day. Uh, the more you build that up, the more quota you'll get. So once you have your channel seasoned with 10, 12 videos, they'll up your limit to maybe three videos, two, three videos per day. So when you're first starting the process of opting in, if you have 6 active listings, you might get one video up per day if you don't have a seasoned channel. So I just want to throw that out there. Uh, Unfortunately, it's from changes that YouTube made back in 2017. So it did, uh, you know, affect that just a little bit. Now, will posts appear on our timeline so we can see them? Yes, these posts are all going to be on your timelines. They're not going to be on Property Panorama's page. These are all going to be on your timelines. So for Facebook, it's going to be on your business page. If you're on X, it's going to push right to your wall. Same with LinkedIn. So that's going to be directly on your pages. Let me go ahead and mark that as answered. All right. Then optionally down below that, email notifications. If you wanted to get your leads to your mobile device, just selecting yes over here for lead notifications SMS is going to push your leads to your mobile device. By default, it does go through to your email address, but you can also opt in for SMS. That way you can get them right to your phone. The nice thing about that is SMS is for leads only. You won't get any promotions or anything from us on your phone. Jumping back over to that linking page, though, for those listing specific items. So that's that share icon that you saw on the dashboard. This is where you can get your branded and your unbranded virtual tours. You can copy the links, if you wanted to make your own personal post, or you can use the one-click sharing over on the right-hand side. The one-click sharing, you can go to X, Facebook, Facebook Messenger, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Reddit, WhatsApp, and Tumblr. Um, I am going to have to look into Facebook Messenger and make sure that that's still going to be good after next week. I know that they are making some changes at Facebook with Messenger, but I think it only involves the Windows and Mac apps for that, not the mobile ones. So we'll find out. And if there's any changes, we will definitely let you know. What is a normal mistake if we don't see them? So for your posts, if they are not up, the first thing would be if you already had an active list, if the listing was already active when you opted in, unfortunately, it's not going to make that post for you for the first time. Now, if there was a price change after you opted in, it would push for you automatically. But unfortunately, without looking directly into your account at this moment, I would not have an exact answer for you. What I could recommend is after the webinar, reach out to our support team, support@propertypanorama.com, or you can give us a phone call, and one of our support team members will be happy to look into that for you, especially with if your posts are not going directly to your Facebook page. All right, so moving right along here. So we did that one-click sharing. Down below that is where you're going to create your profile. So if you wanted to have those static listing ads that you put out on your profile, can you share the tour? Yes, that's what we did with the one-click share. But if you wanted to say feature an open house on a postcard and put that up on your page, you're more than welcome to do so just by clicking that create/manage option where you can create your own customized pro flyer. That would include open house, just listed, price reduced. There's tons of different options available for you there that can suit pretty much any need that you would have. Right below that is the listing video, and that is the video that's getting shared to YouTube. So again, this was just a quick run through of the tools as they are going to social media. And to answer the first question that came in, is there a way to geo-target for ads? And the answer is yes. We do have our own in-house advertising company. Adtensify is our product, and we have both image and video ads available. Now, the video ads, those are going to be specific placement on Instagram and Facebook. The static ads, the ones that are banner ads, if you prefer that term, they're going to be on Facebook and the web to begin with. Uh, Again, you can have agent campaigns, listing campaigns. So if you don't have listings, the agent option gets you out in front of consumers without having an active listing. It is designed to increase traffic and exposure to you and your brand. And it does, again, it does place on all devices and on some of the most popular websites in the world. One thing that I do want to throw out there is we do not put the ads on mobile apps. The reason for that, or I'm sorry, mobile games. And the reason for that is because we don't want kids sitting there and clicking it just to get, 15 extra coins for their game. Uh, I don't want, you to think that we're trying to inflate your numbers. That's the exact opposite. We want to make sure that you're getting legitimate numbers. So excluding those mobile games prevents, from those, hey, let me earn some points, those types of clicks. So again, we want to make sure that you're getting realistic results from your advertising campaigns. Now, here's where the geo-targeting comes into play. So by default, the ads are set to go to a 15-mile radius around the property. However, you can geo-target the ads to 3 specific zip codes or a specific city of interest as well. So those are your 3 geo-targeting options within our ad product, where again, it could be that 15-mile radius, 3 zip codes of interest, or a specific city of interest. So I hope that helps answer that question for you. But then, like I mentioned, we also do have our Adtensify video ads. Those are going to be on Instagram and Facebook, and those are going to be getting in front of consumers in what I like to say is the most active place on social media when they're scrolling through those 50 to 70 videos per day. These are designed to increase, traffic not only to your listings, but also give you that top of mind awareness as people are scrolling through. They're going to see, oh, wait, I saw that video. Let me scroll back to it. So it does give you a little bit more of a robust option when it comes to the advertising element. Now, with the video, we get all of your images directly from the MLS. So, how do you create that into a video? Well, here's the back end side of it. Basically, what you do is you choose the photos that you want to use, your profile picture, and the 5 photos for your listing. What it's going to do is it's going to add some kind of motion to it, depending on the settings that you use. It's also going to add audio to it. We have several different options available for you. You can adjust the color scheme. Again, like I mentioned before, use those same colors that you're using on everything else. Keep that brand consistency. Again, you can also adjust not only your colors there, you can change the text and the tagline that happen up top, or you can also turn on or off the address, also turn on or off the phone number if you just wanted people to go right to the tour instead. They can do that as well. But I usually recommend keeping the phone number on there as much as possible. But this is what your ad would come out looking like, and it would be cycling through several, the 5 images, adding a little bit of motion, either a zoom in, or it could be doing a pan if it was a panorama. So it will add that motion to it and giving it that lifelike feel to the ad itself. And then finally, we do have the ability to bolster both the video and the static ads with Adtensify Plus. With the static ads, I know I mentioned that it was only Facebook and web. You can add Instagram into the mix. Uh, in regard to the video ads, they're already on Instagram and Facebook. It would just be increasing your impressions at that point if you went with the Intensify Plus. And then I mentioned it really briefly earlier, our Revideo product. It's a new way to create videos. You're going to be able to record live video, mix photos in. It's a full video editor right in the palm of your hand. You'll be seeing that coming out again first quarter of 2026. And it does have some AI elements where it can take a still image and make you feel like you're walking into the room. Additionally, it will also have the ability to do things such as, furniture removal or stage. So you'll see those options becoming available as the AI develops within our system as well. But that is everything that I had for you today. Went about 6 minutes over what I was anticipating. So I would say all in all, that was a pretty on par for that. But I do want to invite you all to follow our blog. That's at blog.propertypanorama.com. All of our training videos, including this session, will be available on YouTube at youtube.com/propertypanorama. And then again, for any assistance, any at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. As mentioned before, support at propertypanorama.com. The phone number on your screen. Option number one is going to take you to our InstaView support. Option two is going to get you over to our Adtensify department with our advertising experts. You can also click on the live chat icon in the lower right hand portion of the screen on any one of our pages. We'll be happy to assist you with anything that you have questions on. But at this point in time, again, I do want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules. I know I want to wish you all a safe and happy and healthy holiday season and open the floor to any other questions that you may have that arose throughout the entire presentation there.